I wanted to start off the show today talking about the local real estate statistics. We talk about them every month. They just came out this past week for April. So usually the mid to late the following month, the prior month statistics come out. And for the last few months, we've been talking about a slowdown in the number of sales. For the first time in several years, we've seen year over year the number of homes selling be down. However, prices have been up a little bit. Inventory has kind of fluctuated a little bit. The highest inventory we've had in a long time was in January 2014. But the April 14 statistics, we continue to see the same trend. However, not much of a difference between last year and this April with the number of sales. 2,302 last year, 2,246 sales in April this year. Average sale price of $195,400 compared to last year's average sale price of $179 and change. That's about an 8% increase in the average sale price from 2013 to 2014. So while we're seeing a drop in the number of sales, not much of a drop this, year over year this month, but the last 3 months we've seen a drop. But so while we're seeing a drop in year over year home sales, prices have risen. Homes are selling about the same amount of time as they were last year, and we're down to 4 months of inventory again, which is kind of where our sweet spot was last year. It ballooned up, and we saw a little bit more inventory in January and February. But I suspect that we're going to see an increasing inventory. At least the things that I'm seeing at my company are more and more home sellers that have equity, that want to move. This is kind of the end season for people putting their home on the market to be, in place for the school year. So where the statistics lie, similar to what we talked about, we're seeing a slowdown in the number of homes selling. We talked a lot about the reasons: flood insurance, mortgages, relocations. There's a lot of different reasons. We're going to talk about some of those reasons today as to why there's not as many home sales. But prices rising is definitely a good sign for our market. We hope that trend continues. And again, inventory in a comparable place, but home sales again. And that's, I want to say, like the 6th or 7th month in a row where we've seen home sales year over year lower home sales than the year before. And that's the first time we've seen that in several years. So again, a slowdown, I would say a slight slowdown, more of a stabilization is what I call it. A slowdown is when you're losing lots of sales. If we went from 2,300 home sales to 1,700 in a month, that's a slowdown. So the media calling it a slowdown, at least as it relates to Tampa, I don't necessarily know how much of a slowdown it is. It is slowing down, but it's more of a stabilization. And I think the other side of that is when you hear a lot of stuff in the media, you're going to hear national news, national stats, national information. So the news I'm going to give you on the show is related to Tampa, Florida, to the Tampa Bay area and our market, because it is different. It's going to be different than Detroit or Indianapolis or New York. So our market is stabilizing. Is it slowing down? Yeah, there's less sales. But if you look at it from a volume perspective, from like a gross domestic product standpoint, it's more, because the prices have risen enough to offset the difference in the number of sales. So from a sales volume standpoint, from a pure production standpoint, there's more volume of home selling. So that's certainly good news there.